Hey, welcome to another ABC Grab and Go. In this Grab and Go, we're going to use our driver tool bag and learn how to troubleshoot our bus when we have zero power or we can't start. So when you're operating your coach, a couple things could happen with us not being able to start. So the first one is the first scenario we'll go over. So we'll go ahead and turn our master switch on, and turning that on is 2 clicks. Once that comes on, the dash will light up. It'll go through its sequence to make sure everything is okay, that we can start the bus. So if I try to start the bus now, as you can see, I have nothing happening. So a couple items we want to check first. We want to make sure our driver's light switch is in the middle position. And if that is in the middle position, we should be able to start the bus. But as you can see, I still can't start the bus, so we have another issue or another concern. So before I go too far into it, I want to make sure my shift pad is in neutral, but then I also want to make sure there's no warning lights on the dash, whether it be an engine light or that my rear engine door is open, which I do not see. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the back of the bus and just go ahead and make sure that engine bay door is closed and see if I can start the bus from the rear. So as we come around the corner to the back engine compartment, some of the things I'm looking for is to make sure the door was closed, which here it does appear that the door was closed. So I know I couldn't start from the front, so let's see if we can start from the back by opening up the engine compartment. Now that we have this open, nobody can start the bus from the front, even though the bus wouldn't start from the front anyway, because that's why we're back here. So one of the things I want to look for is to see if I can start from back here in the back by pushing the start button. So go ahead and push that button. And the bus starts. Now that we have the engine started, we can go ahead and close the engine bay door. Once the engine bay's door is closed, we can still operate this unit from starting from the back. We just know that as we drive or we shut the unit off, we still have to start from the back, but we can continue our trip and finish it up. So that way when we do get back to our shop or to another location, we can go ahead and have it address why we couldn't start from the front. Now let's say we have a different scenario. Let's say that we have zero power at the front compartment of the bus or from the driver's area. So let's walk through that process. So we went through our first scenario of not being able to start the bus from the front. Now let's talk about our second scenario. As I turn the bus on, as you can see, we have zero power. So there's a couple different things that we want to check. First one's right here at the driver's area. So I'm not so worried about the driver's light as we were the first time, but I want to go ahead and check and make sure my emergency shutoff switch here to the left of the driver isn't turned on or activated. If it is, it would cause us not to have power. As we can see, I'm activating that switch now and it had no effect on the dash. So that is definitely not our concern this time. So what we're going to do is go back to the batteries using our driver's tool bag. We do have a multimeter in there and we want to see if we have power at the batteries, see if we need to jump start the bus or not. We're going to go ahead and walk to the last luggage bay. Once we open this up, we're looking for the battery disconnect switch and we want to make sure it's in the correct position. As we get in here, I do see it's pointing straight up and down. That tells me that the batteries are engaged electrically. However, if it was pointed this direction from front to back of the bus, that tells me the batteries were disengaged. This could potentially have been our issue why we don't have power, but since it was pointing up and down, that tells me the batteries are on and that should not be our problem. So next thing for us to do would to get our driver's tool bag and go ahead and use our multimeter to see if we have voltage at our batteries. So now that we checked our switch, we want to go ahead and check our batteries. And I do that by accessing my driver's tool bag. If you're not sure what the driver's tool bag or the driver's tool bag kit is, please reference this video shown. Now to get access to my tool bag, I do keep it in my last luggage bay, so let's go ahead and get access there. As you can see, here's my driver's level tool bag. I'm going to go ahead and put on my safety glasses. And then we're going to go ahead and open this bag up. Now what I want to get is going to be my multimeter. Your multimeter is a digital device, so I can check voltage in the batteries to see if they're good. So we'll go ahead and hook up our leads. When you're installing these, you're going to take your red lead and hook it up to your first one for checking voltage. And your black, which is your common, which is also marked common for COM. And then we're going to turn our lead to voltage DC. And now we can check our batteries. So when I'm checking my batteries, if I check them individually, I want to see 12 volts or more. If I'm checking them together for the 24 volt system, I should see 23 to 24 volts or more. So let's go ahead and check. So for this specific battery, I have 12.6 volts. That tells me this is a good battery. So let's go ahead and check our second battery. All right, and that battery is 12.6 also. So that tells me both my batteries have power. So since both of them have over 12 volts, in theory, I have over 24 volts in the system, which should be enough to power on that dash. If I had less than that, if I was sitting at 11 volts or 10 volts, or I had one battery at 12 and another one at a different voltage, then I would need to go ahead and jump start this bus or to charge the bus. In order to do that, if you're not 100% sure on how to do that, we do have another grab and go video, which is the proper way to jump start a bus. Also, link shown here. Now that we've checked our batteries and we know we have good voltage there, we want to go ahead and check our fuses or circuit breakers. We do that by accessing the first compartment here on the roadside or driver's side of the coach. So let's go ahead and open up this door. As we open this up, here at the very top, this is where our circuit breakers and fuses are held. And one of the things I want to look for is anything to do with the ignition circuit or key on circuit. So as I look here quickly and I just scroll through, I find that my fuse is an 87.3. So I want to check circuit breaker 87.3, so I will have to take this compartment off. So you unscrew the red locks. And there are 4 of them, so it does take a little bit of a second to do. When you go to take the fuse or these holders out, you want to make sure you hold the black panel and make sure it doesn't fall and create damage. Now we can pull that off. And as you see here, these are our circuit breakers, fuses, and we also have our relays. Depending on what VIN number or bus make that you are on, you want to look at your panel specific to your unit to find that battery main relay or ignition relay, because as the numbers will change and may not be the same as used in this video. Once you do find that fuse number or circuit breaker number, you want to make sure you flip this panel over so you can look at the map. So now we can go ahead and flip our fuse panel over so we can look at the map to get an idea of where our fuse is located. So here to the left are relays. I'm not technically looking for a relay this time. I'm looking for a fuse or a circuit breaker that may be tripped. And as I look, I'm looking for 12.6. So at the top tells me my circuit breakers 14, 13, and 12. And then I look for 6, which is right here, which is the third fuse or circuit breaker down. Now again, depending on what your VIN number is or what bus you're on from Van Hool, your circuit breaker or fuse number may vary. So please look at the fuse numbers at the front of this and take a look and make sure it's the correct one. So now that we know which circuit breaker we need to check, I'm going to go ahead and come over and I go to my 12th row, which is here, and I'm going to count down 3. So 1, 2, 3, and I do notice this circuit breaker is tripped. So first thing I would do is go ahead and reset it, and then see if I can start the bus. If I can, then that's great. If I thought maybe there was a potential circuit breaker issue, I could remove it by pushing these 2 clips to pull this holder out. And then I could pull the whole fuse out. And inside my gray bag, I could pull out another circuit breaker. And this one is an 8 amp, as it shows here. I would find that circuit breaker to put back in its place. You never want to go higher, because if there is a short in the circuit, you could create a high potential damage. So on this particular unit, the fuse was tripped, or the circuit breaker was tripped. So we went ahead and reset it. So next steps for me is to go ahead and get in the driver's seat and start the bus. So we went ahead and reset the fuse, and we do have power now. So to make sure that what we did actually fix the problem, we'll wait for the system to run through its checks, and then we'll go ahead and start the bus. So it's completed its checks. Let's start it and see if we fixed it. And we have success. So we were able to troubleshoot our own unit and get it back on the road without needing any additional assistance or a tow. Now, for whatever reason, if you could not start the bus or you still didn't have power, before you call that tow truck or call for that assistance to come out to you, I recommend calling our tech line at 877-427-7278 option 3, and they can help you 24/7. So now that we were successful in getting our bus back in operation, we want to make sure we close our doors and pull all of our panels back where they came from. So we'll start by putting this one back on. So you want to go ahead and line it up and then start putting in your little lock tabs. I always put in one first and then I'll grab the second one. That way it has a place to hang. It'll make it much easier when you go to do the other two. Now that I have my bus running, it's time for me to get back on my trip. So if you have any questions on this video or want to see any of our grab and go videos, please visit our website at abc-companies.com.